Chapter 1, The Calm Before the Storm. July 1943. The fields of Kursk stretched endlessly, dotted with trenches, dugouts, and the hulking silhouettes of tanks lined up for battle. The heat was oppressive, the air thick with dust and tension. Every soldier knew that the coming days would decide the fate of nations. Sergei, a young tank driver, wiped sweat from his brow and looked across the battlefield. "It feels different this time," he whispered to Ivan, his friend and mechanic. Ivan shrugged, tightening the bolts on their T-34. "It always feels like this before a fight. Doesn't mean anything." But it did mean something. Rumors had been spreading for weeks, shadows moving without bodies, strange lights appearing at night, tanks that seemed to appear and disappear on the battlefield. Most dismissed these stories, but a few older soldiers exchanged uneasy glances, remembering the inexplicable things they had seen in earlier skirmishes. The night was calm, too calm, and a heavy fog began to roll across the fields, swallowing outlines of trees and equipment. The soldiers felt it in their bones, the sense that this battle would be different. Chapter 2, The Crew. Sergei was barely 20. He had left a home he could hardly remember, dreaming once of a simple life with his family. War had taken that from him. He gripped the controls of his T-34 tightly, his knuckles white. Ivan, older and seasoned, had fought in countless battles. He trusted the mechanics of his tank more than anything else. He believed in engines, in gears, in metal, and nothing beyond. Their commander, Petr, was a man of logic. He studied maps, calculated trajectories, and ordered attacks with precision. Yet even he felt a subtle unease that he could not explain. Something in the air whispered of things beyond reason. Together, they formed a crew skilled in war, but unprepared for the extraordinary. Chapter 3, The First Encounter. The first appearance of the ghost tank came at night. Fog hung low over the churned earth. The German advance came quickly, a moving wall of steel. Sergei's heart raced as shells exploded around them. Then, through the gray mist, a shape emerged. A tank. Silent. Smooth. Its metal glinted faintly under the moonlight. The crew froze. No engine roar, no clatter of treads, only the quiet, purposeful movement of the machine. Is that ours?" Sergei whispered. Ivan shook his head. "It's not ours. We're alone here." The tank moved forward, taking precise aim at enemy positions, destroying them with uncanny accuracy. Soldiers trapped behind a ridge were freed, not a scratch on them. And just as suddenly as it appeared, the tank vanished. No tracks, no smoke, nothing. Only the lingering sense that something unnatural had passed. Chapter 4, Repeated Encounters. Over the following days, the ghost tank appeared several more times. Each appearance coincided with critical moments. When a unit was about to be overrun, it arrived. When a bridge was about to be destroyed, it blocked the path just long enough for retreating soldiers. Sergei began to question reality. This can't be happening. Machines don't just appear out of nowhere. Ivan remained skeptical, though unease gnawed at him. Maybe it's the fog. Or maybe we're imagining it. Petr, ever the rational man, studied the battlefield. "No," he admitted quietly, "there's something else here. Something guiding it." Enemy soldiers whispered too. A German lieutenant reported his squad froze in panic, seeing tanks vanish in the mist, only to find their lines collapsing moments later. Stories spread quickly, a tank not bound by life, controlled by memory, by souls of those who had died. Chapter 5, Personal Struggles. The days wore on. Sleep was a distant memory. Sergei replayed the encounters, questioning whether he had gone mad. Ivan wrestled with guilt, had they disturbed the dead? Petr pondered what it meant to fight ghosts, both literal and figurative. Each man felt a growing truth, this tank was not merely a machine. It was the memory of those who had perished, returning to guide the living. "Do you think it's them?" Sergei asked one night as fog crept over their camp. "Who?" Ivan replied, but even his voice wavered. "Those who died, maybe it's them, trying to protect us." A silence followed. Only the wind and the distant rumble of artillery answered. Chapter 6, The Fog in the Field. One evening, a dense fog rolled in, thick as wool. Visibility dropped to a few meters. Tanks moved blindly, soldiers stumbled over the uneven ground. And then, through the haze, Sergei glimpsed movement, faint outlines of a tank, barely perceptible. It moved with purpose. Not like a man controlling it, not like any machine Sergei had ever seen. It seemed alive. The crew followed silently, hearts pounding. They watched as it intercepted an ambush, destroying enemy tanks with precision impossible for human hands. Afterward, it lingered briefly, almost as if acknowledging them, and then melted back into the fog. Chapter 7, The Climax Battle. The Germans launched a massive assault. Soviet positions were at risk of being overrun. Sergei's T-34 was damaged. Ivan's hands shook as he tried to repair the engine. From the mist, the ghost tank appeared. It moved with terrifying precision, predicting enemy maneuvers, shielding retreating soldiers, and eliminating threats that should have destroyed them. "Look at it," Petra whispered, awestruck. "It's protecting them." The battle raged for hours. Every time the ghost tank intervened, lives were saved, yet no one could follow or communicate with it. It was as if the souls of the fallen had come back for a single purpose, to ensure the living survived. When the smoke cleared, the tank vanished once more. Only silence and the lingering sense of wonder remained. Chapter 8, Aftermath. Years later, Sergei, now an old man, would recall the fog, the sounds, the tank that appeared when all hope seemed lost. Ivan, reflective and weary, understood that some things cannot be explained. Petra knew that courage, memory, and sacrifice could transcend death itself. On quiet mornings in Kursk, when the mist rises over the fields, some claim to see the faint outlines of tanks moving silently, returning to protect the living and remind us of the cost of war. The ghost tanks remained a legend, part history, part memory, part something beyond understanding, a symbol that even in the darkest times, something watches over those who survive.